instructions and pay a lot of attention, because by the end of this presentation, you might leave the room with a different mindset. When it comes to teaching reading, when it comes to reading itself. Because I advanced my career through reading, not just courses. Courses was just for qualifications, but reading was actually what made me who I am now. Without any further ado, testing versus teaching reading, I chose this. It's something related a little bit to Delta, but honestly speaking, I do it on CELTA courses as well. Why? Because CELTA candidates deserve that, and their students deserve that, deserve to know. So, what usually happens in the classroom is testing, not teaching. So we test them in the classroom, we test them in exams. And we usually think of reading soft skills, some kind of exam attack strategies only. You know, we help them attack the tasks in exams. But today, we're gonna link what happens in the classroom to what happens outside the classroom, which is authenticity. Authentic reading tasks, or at least link what you teach to what happens outside the classroom. That will make your students value what you do in the classroom even more. So, until very recently, I wasn't an effective reader myself. So, are you an effective reader yourself? When you read, do you feel like you're a fluent reader? What happens? We will discover that together. So, an effective reader, I'm not going to read this out loud for you, but I want you to look at suitable pace, when to read slowly with a lot of attention, and when to read very fast to get the main idea. When to focus on specific pieces of information, when to dig deeper for tiny details. See? Do you know when to read at a fast pace and slow pace? And let's keep it to that now. Fast and slow. Do you know when? Are you selective with reading sub-skills? Do you know which strategies tackle which sub-skill? Anyway, I have some questions for you. First question, what is previewing? Do you preview the text? Yes or no? Good job. How do you preview it? Do you look at pictures? Do you look at the title, maybe subheadings? Do you do that? Amazing. Because this helps you activate your own schematic knowledge as a reader, your previous knowledge. Exactly. Previewing helps prediction. And when you start with prediction, you make yourself interested, or you just ditch this book or ditch this article and go for some or another one that is more interesting to you. So previewing is absolutely important. I caught myself using a pencil or a pen, or sometimes my finger, to point at each single word I'm reading. And that doesn't mean I'm applying reading sub-skills, or I know the strategies, but I'm not using them effectively. If you keep pointing at each word, you're reading everything, every genre, the same, which is not effective. Third question. I was that person too. I jumped to a dictionary. I used to jump to dictionaries whenever I encounter a difficult word. I'm talking about my old version, like 12 years ago, when I was just a tour guide. I didn't know how to do it effectively. So it happens to many of us. You worry a lot about what each word means, but if you wait a little bit, any writer wants everybody to read what he produces or she produces. So, writer, I want to say, if the writer is friendly with his readers, producing friendly content, he's not going to leave you to a dictionary. He's going to provide you with a clue. This clue might be a definition. It can be a description. It can be an example. It can be a synonym. It can be an antonym. It can be an anecdote, like a context specific for this word. So don't jump. Just wait a little bit. Trust your gut. Because some of us understand what this means, but doesn't feel comfortable until they get a dictionary and they see it with their eyes. See? Just wait. Yes, just wait. Keep reading. That makes you fluent. Fluent reader, okay? Fluency can be reading, writing, speaking, and so on. Does your purpose change how you read? Excellent. You're great teachers. You're effective readers yourselves. Okay. Have you finished a book recently from cover to cover?
No.
That's the question that makes me kind of get what happened with the previous answers. If you haven't finished a book from cover to cover, that means you jumped to a dictionary, you pointed at each single word and got bored, and the purpose wasn't clear to you, because we want to improve our language as non-native speakers. We want to improve our language. We have this fear inside us, right? We want to improve our language, and we feel bad once we find a difficult word. So I need to know the meaning of this word. That's why I jump to a dictionary. I myself sometimes catch myself doing that. Why? Because it's on and off with me till this very moment. I think was the third question or the fourth one, the dictionary thing. How come a self-tutor doesn't know this word? And for your surprise, some native speakers do not know some English words. Do we know all the Arabic words in our language? Of course not. So it's okay if you feel like you don't know that, you don't know this. But do not jump to a dictionary, just apply contextual guessing. Okay? Let the text tell you. These are the questions. Yeah, that was number 3. You can take a picture. So, do you read the following the same way? Like job offer. How do you read the job offer? Can 2 different people read it differently? So a fresh grad, how is he going to read this? That's a problem. Fresh grad, salary? No. Get some experienced guys. Somebody who is experienced, yeah. Maybe look at the salary, and if the salary is, if the salary is good, I'm coming to that. So 2 different people in 2 different contexts might read this differently. Okay. A travel brochure includes 3 different destinations, and I have some, short story about that. Fire extinguisher instructions. The basic one that we start with. What's this? So in order to get the time, are you going to read everything to get to the time? I sometimes look at the column. I look at the column because usually they write the time with not just the numbers. Of course numbers, it comes first. But here we don't have that. So scanning. Scanning can be a standalone sub-skill. And by the way, reading for specific information is a sub-skill. Scanning is the strategy applied to get this. So we scan to get the specific information in the text. Okay. Job offer. For me, once I see EGP or LE, not interested. Honestly. So I scan, no $sign, no reading. been there for a long time. Maybe a fresh grad. Oh my God, 11,864 pounds. Oh my God, let's read what they need from me. Let's take the courses here. I want to get that, right? For me, if they're dollars, I might think about it. Two different people for the job offer, they read it differently according to the purpose. Travel brochure, some people might get stuck here while reading this. There is a little fire around, a little one, just to start it. Got stuck at this word, which is basically this tool, like the handle, maybe, right? They might get stuck here. Is it lever or lever? Yes, I understand the meaning. But is it lever or lever? Okay, let's get the dictionary and check the pronunciation. Is that okay? Yeah. The picture is clear, and as I mentioned before, you said it's skimming or scanning. Just to preview it. Pull this, squeeze this, point that. That's it. Do you need to read here, or just previewing will do the job? What do you think? Do we need to read? Preview it. Preview it. Otherwise, it might get to you. You know, it's nearby, and you are taking this to the fire. Please do it. Save them, save yourself. No someone. The husband is quite thrifty. A little tight-fisted. He's keen on money. You know? So how is the husband going to read that? The travel brochure. I need the strategy. And to get the price, yes, to get the price, what's he gonna do? She's gonna find what the facilities are and which one is the most luxurious, maybe. The gentleman, like all Egyptian people nowadays, you know, they're struggling. I am struggling. So, how much? That's what I care about. And in 3 seconds, I'll decide on the destination. What about my wife? How long she's gonna take to decide the destination? She's gonna read the 3 of them very carefully and finds where the jacuzzi is. See? Say it out loud. Yeah, she's gonna read in detail, applying the intensive reading strategy. One final example, history book, and the student wasn't studying all year, just studied like a month before the exam and used his highlighter. So I can ask you to find me 2 strategies that might help you the night before the exam. Okay? Yes, skimming. Scanning for the dates, to remember the dates, just the night before the exam. Is it wise to read in detail here? That would be crazy. He's not gonna finish. He's not gonna, you know. He will go with the first chapter, read very carefully. And if the exam comes, you know, just ditches the first chapter. He's gonna struggle, maybe fail. Right? So, skimming and scanning. Yes or no? Yes. Why? She said yes. So, the ممكن تفاصيل comment gets you rejected from scholarships and from like jobs. Because I know somebody who texted the interviewer, emailed the interviewer asking for the Zoom meeting link. And the Zoom meeting link was sent before. So if you lack reading soft skills and you do not know which strategy to be applied and when, how come I'm going to hire you to teach the students in my institutions reading soft skills? You didn't apply the suitable one, you didn't read at a suitable pace, how are you going to teach my students? I'm not going to hire you, right? You're asking me for the Zoom meeting link? It's in the email I sent you. See? That's very important. Yes, he didn't, he didn't take care of the purpose he needs to achieve. His aim of reading this email. You're invited for an interview. You are. And you send them an email asking for the Zoom meeting link? No way. That's a very bad sign. You skimmed when you needed to read for details, right? Honestly speaking, if lack of reading soft skills can be career destructive, what about the extinguisher example? It's life destructive. Life destructive. Of course, I exaggerated with the ever thing or the ever thing because American and British. I got stuck at the word, but there was no fire, to be honest. Okay. The handle, I got stuck at it, but there was no fire. I learned the word, like, no fire. So, reading soft skills. Is there time to read every single word and no time. As for the second one, missing written details of a scholarship or a job offer, is it possible to lose the opportunity? Unfortunately, yes. I'm gonna jump quickly on this. These are the reading soft skills. I'll give you an example of a scanning task only, because there is no time for me to go through the seven. Previewing and predicting are almost the same thing. Have a look at this, because I have a task for you. Here is the text. It's me from the animation. These highlighted items are what we call specific information. It can be a proper noun, starts with a capital letter. It can be a number. It can be a symbol. Dates like numbers, okay? Lovely. Proper nouns, yes, names of places, cities, rivers, countries, people. These are the three questions for a scanning task. So scanning tasks can be WH questions. Can you imagine that? Because some people link the sub-skill while teaching to WH and fill in the gaps, true or false. I get this question sometimes on CELTA courses. Can a true-false question be detailed, like reading for detail, pencil reading? WH questions are only for detail? Not necessarily. Depends on what you're looking for. So we have two teachers here, and they didn't mean anything by the gentleman or the lady. Because I used to do one of the two coming scenarios. So number one, what was the departure city? So what do we need to find here? Thank you. Proper noun. Number two, how far was the destination? A number or km or miles, right? How long? So again, it's not about the type of question, it's about what we're looking for in the text. So what do you say to your students in the classroom here? I need you to take 10 seconds to think what you actually say to your students. So we have two scenarios. One of them is testing. One of them is actually teaching. Scenario one, please read that and tell me whether it's testing or teaching. Is it similar to what we say in the classroom? So read the second scenario. Okay. Scenario one, testing or teaching? Everybody. Scenario two. Which, let's try. I don't think we can do the task. Just scan it, right? I will, of course. So it's okay. Let me get back. It's okay if you're not able to scan it or to go to the. It's okay. Let me get back. Let me get back. Can get back on your, over your mobile. When the teacher asked them to look at the first question, he actually directed their attention to something very important, and he gave them a clue on how to read. Because usually our students lack reading sub-skills in Arabic. Nobody taught us how to read in Arabic. When I was a kid, when we were all kids, درس القراءة used to be memorized. Like we memorizing. This is not reading sub-skill. This is not a reading sub-skill. Memorizing is not a reading sub-skill. So we get only the questions in the Arabic exam. And we need to remember what we meant. Right? Did it happen to you? Do you remember? Okay, lovely. So you directed their attention to the first question, which was asking about the city. City is a proper noun that starts with a capital letter. Once you find the capital letter word, you read around it if it's a name of a city in order to confirm whether it's the correct answer or not. Especially if you're teaching scanning for the first time. They need to know that. So the second question, we asked them, how can we find the answer quickly? Do you need to read everything, or you need to find the number and read around it? So you are providing them with the clues, and the clues form a strategy. Whenever they have a question asking a proper noun, or a number, or a sign, maybe how much is something, they just look for the sign or the symbol, right? And that helps finding the answer quickly. When you go to an IELTS exam, sometimes the 1 hour thingy is not enough for 3 passages. You're not applying the suitable reading sub-skills and strategies. Okay? So reading at a suitable pace and applying the most effective strategy for what you want. And now I don't care about the exam, I care about real life. Again, fire extinguisher and job. Remember that. So this forms the task cycle. The teacher is monitoring what they're reading, like lightly, because reading is a calm activity. You don't have to interrupt. Give them, you don't need to feel awkward when it comes to the silence that accompanies reading. Check in pairs feedback. Remember, task cycle? If you attended that, set the task to the task here, check feedback. And one more important piece of information here, once they get all the answers and you provide them with feedback and stuff, try to link the sub-skill to the life. This is what we call metacognition. Like, why are we learning this? Why are you teaching us this? Because reading lessons and sometimes listening lessons feel like a test all the time. Read, answer, read the questions first, go back, find the answer, check with your partner, here is the feedback. This is a test. Without providing them with clues, you haven't taught reading, you tested them. You tested the students. For further reading, I'd like to recommend this book. You need to learn about the other reading sub-skills. I tackled scanning today because of the time. I think I should finish now. So, teaching reading skills in a foreign language for Christine Natal will help you a lot. And again, it is not only courses that can help you advance your career. Courses provide you with the qualification and the knowledge very quickly, but you need to complement this with reading. Reading is very, very important, and it can get you higher in rank the same as courses, but courses will support you with knowledge and certificates, not only knowledge. So please keep in touch. I forgot to introduce myself. I was panicking in the first 5 minutes. I forgot to introduce myself. If you're attending for the first time, my name is Muhammad Ali Khalaf. I'm a teacher trainer at the Future University in Egypt, and I'm a self-tutor at Cambridge Assessment. Thank you, everybody. I hope it was worth it.